Wasn't that great? Wow. I'm telling you, you never know what to expect when you come here, do. Well, you do, but you just don't know how good it's going to be. You know, it's going to be great, but we have real talent here, big time. So tonight we're going to talk about probably your favorite topic. We're going to talk about you. Yeah. Yeah, you. So, have you, let's see, how did I word this? Have you got in touch with your quiddity lately?
What?
Quiddity. It's a real word. I'll give you the definition. Has anybody here heard of quiddity? Huh? Mr. Smarty Pants over here, he knows all of it. Yeah, quiddity. It's a noun, and it is the quality that makes a thing what it is. It's also the essential nature of a thing. That thing would be you, you know. No, and the rest of us too. The inherent nature or essence of someone or something. In Sanskrit, the word for quiddity is dharma. So a lot of people, it's one of those words that gets kicked around. It's loosely translated from people who know a little bit about what the Sanskrit meaning means. So it comes over here and they use it for all kinds of things. But really dharma, for instance, the dharma of water is wet. That's what it is. It's wet. Now, some people could argue, but you could take and freeze the water, and then it's not wet anymore. It's solid. Or you could boil it, and it turns into a gas, but then it's not water anymore. It is water, but it's in a false form. If you boil the water into steam, leave it for a while, it'll turn back into water. If you freeze it and leave it alone, it'll turn back into water. It's always wet. You may disrupt that from time to time. So we're going to talk about you and your dharma. What are you? What makes you tick? Why do you exist? Science likes to talk a lot about things that they say happen. They speculate it happened this way. Of course, they go back every few years and they change it. You see, they talk about how the universe was created from a bang to this to that, and then maybe I think now they were getting away from the Big Bang, and I think they're trying to go back to it now. And I just don't really care what they think because they don't know. They're guessing. So, but your dharma, well, I'm going to read it here. Your dharma is something that you should know. Science never talks about why. They'll tell you what. They'll estimate when, but they never tell you why anything happened. If we include a why, now we've included an intelligence. And that would insinuate there's intelligent design. There's some intelligence behind this. So they don't tell you why. Do you ever wonder why? We wonder why. When you were a kid, I remember raising my kids, you know, why is one of the biggest questions I heard from them. You know, go clean up your room. Why? You know, go wash your hands, get ready for dinner. Why? Yeah. Am I right here? Is she still like that? No, boy. Why am I not surprised? So remember that word dharma. Dharma, I don't even know what some of the New Age interpretations are, but the real Sanskrit meaning is what you actually are. So we're going to go to Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's going to talk about your Dharma. Not all of our Dharma. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 2, verse 6. The supreme occupation, or Dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can, and women, can attain to the loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. That self would be you. For you to be satisfied, this is what you've got to do. So, this is Sutta Goswami speaking. The sages at Nimajoranya forest were asking him questions. Basically, they wanted to know, gee whiz, you've got all these scriptures. You know, the Vedic scriptures are many. There's many, many volumes. And so the sages there, they must be type A personalities, because they wanted to know from Sutta Goswami, you're going to tell me about what's in all of these scriptures. Can you sum it up? You know, what would you say? Is there something you can say that'll tell me everything that's in there without sitting here for all this time? You know, you can tell me what it is you're going to say, but sum it up. So a lot of type A personalities are like that. Get to the point. Tell me where you're going. Are there any type A personalities in here? Yeah. Ever talked with our leader? Huh? She's pretty subtle about it, but you need to get to the point. You know, she's not going to sit there and let you carry it on and on and on. You know, so basically, the sages were like that. Get to the point. Tell me what it is. Then you can go back and give me the details. So that supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which you can attain to the loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. That would be Krishna. You may say, but I don't want to worship Krishna. I want to worship somebody else. All right, then go for that. Do that. But your nature, your dharma, is to be a servant. That's what you do. And you're empowered to do that. You're empowered to give transcendental love. You're empowered to make the source of love feel loved. You, that is your dharma. You're empowered by God. And you're really good at it. Now you may be thinking, well, no, sometimes I feel a little weak in that department. Well, then you just need to get in touch with yourself. That is what your empowerment is. You are a lover. And you're a servant. You're a giver of pleasure. That's what you do. That's your dharma. When the soul is performing those activities, you are a functioning entity. When you're not doing that, you are a malfunctioning entity. When you deviate from the path of being a servant, a lover, now you're trying to be something that you're not. You're not living up to your dharma. If we can only remember that, this is what you do. And you're expert. You're given this ability directly from the source, directly from God. So we need to work on that. If that's what I'm good at, then I need to work on that. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, in this statement, Sri Sutta Goswami answers the first questions of the sages at Naimisaranya forest. The sages ask him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that the fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas describe two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called pravritti marg. The other path, or the path of sense enjoyment, it's one path that we can take. And the other is called nivritti marg. Nivritti marg, or the path of renunciation. So sometimes we, the living entities, we take one path or the other. Pravritti marg means that I want to go be an enjoyer. I'm in this world. I want to enjoy it. I want to use it for my benefit. I want to falsely claim some part of it is mine. This is mine. See that line right there? That's mine. So you stay off of it. I've got a fence around it, and it's even got a no trespassing sign. So I've claimed that for me. It doesn't really belong to you. Whoever sold it to you came by it illegitimately because the owner is the supreme. Now, I may take it and protect it and use it in his service or to serve his parts and parcels, but I can't claim that I own it. You see? This false proprietorship. We're all guilty of doing that. Here I am in this world, so there's a whole lot of stuff here. All right, let me see. Okay, this is going to be mine, and you keep your hands off this. This is mine too. We start doing that. Instead of thinking, well, gee whiz, everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to the source of where it came from. But I need to use this. It's going to be helpful in my service to that supreme source. So if I use this, it's his, but I'm using it as if it were mine to serve him. So we can do that with anything and everything. If we can't use it in that fashion, if we cannot use something to serve the supreme, leave it alone. Stay away from it. Be all you can be. Be what you're empowered to be. Do what you do best. Serve. As long as you're being you, then you can use anything. I can claim some partial proprietorship of anything because I'm going to use it to serve you and our beloved Lord. So then that makes it all legitimate, doesn't it? Otherwise, I can claim it as mine and I can use it for my enjoyment. And if I can see if I can get some of the stuff that you claim is yours, I can use that for my enjoyment too. And then we're caught up in the suffering of the material world, which we're all getting tired of. Are we getting tired of the suffering? I mean, Arizona is a wonderful place, but long about this time of year, it gets really, really hot. So we're suffering. I mean, all you have to do is go outside and you're suffering. Why? Because I'm identifying with this body. And this body doesn't like it when it's over 100 degrees. You see? So, by the way, stop me at any time with questions or comments. But not yet. So, the path of enjoyment is inferior, and the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. It's superior to follow the path of sacrifice. Oh man, we don't like that word, do we? Sacrifice. That's even hard to say. Leaves a foul taste in your mouth, doesn't it? Sacrifice. I don't want to sacrifice. I want to gain. So, but if you sacrifice for someone else's pleasure, doesn't it kind of give you a good feeling? Have you ever noticed that? You do something to help somebody. Later on, you might realize that, it's like if someone were broken down alongside the road. They've got a flat tire. And you pull up to help them. And you help them jack the car up, change the tire. In doing so, your nice new shirt gets all torn and dirty. You sacrificed it. But that other person was so thankful. And they shook your hand and they offered pranams, and they're so happy that God sent you to help them. And they drive away, and you're left there with a torn, dirty shirt, but you're feeling pretty good, right? You know, I can get another shirt. How long will it take me to have another experience to where I infect someone's life with pleasure and happiness? Huh? So that was much more important than the shirt. You can get another one. Go on Amazon, get another one. So you see where we're going with this? This is your dharma. You do this. You're really good at it. The material existence of the living being is a diseased condition of actual life. That's not your dharma to be in the material consciousness. Material consciousness means I'm claiming false proprietorship on things that are in this world. I'm thinking that I am this body. I'm believing it's mine, and I have the right over my body. I can take it to this country, or I can take it to that country, and I can do anything with it I want. Oh, but hey, wait a minute. I don't even own it. I didn't bring it with me when I checked into this world. I've never heard of that happening. Have you? I mean, maybe Krishna can do it, but I can't do that. You see? So, I'm laying a proprietorship to this bag of bones that I walk around in. I think it's mine. I think it's me. And I'm so proud of it. I try to polish it up and make it more and more attractive to more and more people because I identify with it. This is me. But the real you is your persona, your personality, isn't it? That's the real you. It's not how you look. It's not your body. It's the soul that's driving that body, right? Well, I like this one. I made a note here to make sure I talk about this sentence. Prabhupada says, material existence is temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. This is something we need to ponder. Sometimes when suffering subsides a little bit, we think, oh, that feels good. That feels. Would you like a crude example? This is crude, but I mean, it's real. It's happened to me several times over the decades. Picture this. You're driving east on I-10, east of El Paso, east of Van Horn. And you get on out there and you all of a sudden need to go to the bathroom. Now, if anybody has been through there, you know, there's nothing there. I'm saying nothing. And you got to go. There's not even a cactus big enough to hide behind. I mean, you just got to grit your teeth. So here you go down the road, mile after mile, clutching that steering wheel tighter and tighter, you know, going faster and faster, just thinking, oh my gosh. So then finally you get to Pecos. You've got to go probably all the way to Pecos before you get a place that you can find to go in. So then here you run in and you do your business. And what's the first thing you're going to think? Oh, that feels so good. Well, no, it really doesn't. It's just that the pain is going away. This is what Prabhupada is talking about here. This is our confusion. No, I'm not. That's not happiness. That's the pain backing off a little bit. What is happiness? What is real happiness? I guess we could cut to the chase and say real happiness is pure love, isn't it? To feel absolutely loved and to fully love someone, well, that's the pleasure you can't duplicate. That's what we living entities really like more than anything. So, Prabhupada says, therefore, the progressive material, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. Prabhupada doesn't hold it back, does he? I think, this is a punch you in the face. I like that style, Prabhupada. Let me tell you how it really is. Right straight down the middle. Not a little of this. So let me just tell you the truth. I like that. Do you guys like that too? I prefer that. Unless, except people that talk this way and then they talk this way. I really love, the first thing that appealed to me when I started reading Srila Prabhupada's books was straight truth. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. And you probably didn't get it the first time, so I will rephrase it. Even sometimes Prabhupada says repetition is not a literary weakness. Some people would say, well, you repeated that. No, he has to repeat it because, at least me, I don't know about you, but me, I'm dull up here between the ears. I need to hear it again and again. I need to hear these things once, twice, 10,000 times. Renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. It's a diseased condition for us to think in this material condition. All of the suffering that we have to tolerate here, if we think in terms of being a part of this world or having anything to do with it. No, you're like oil in water. You drop oil into water. It doesn't mix with the water. Maybe in time it will, but it just kind of stays right there. It's like, I remember my mother used to buy these salad dressings. You had to shake them up because the oil's floating on top of the vinegar or whatever's in there. So you got to shake it, and you got to pour it real quick onto your salad. If you wait a minute or two looking for something, it separates again, So we're like that. You, the soul, we don't mix with this material world. We're only passing through. We don't have anything to do with this place. Some people romantically like to try to tell you that you're stardust and you're this. How would they even know? How do you know what? If you found stardust, how would you know what it is? Who dusts them off anyway? I don't know. You hear all this stuff and it kind of gives me a little bit of a headache. No, I am not stardust. I'm not earth. I'm not water. I'm not fire. I'm not air. And I'm not ether. There's only 5 ingredients to this entire cosmic manifestation: earth, water, fire, air, ether. That's it. And everything is a combination of those things, except you. You're that drop of oil. You come into this material world and you try your best, year after year, decade after decade, to mix with this place. And that just causes you more and more grief. You can't do it. You can't. You've got this body, but you can't keep it. You may have a title to the house, the property that you're on, but you're not going to be able to keep it because you're going to die. Death is going to take you out of that body. And then what's going to happen? It's going to turn back into earth, water, fire, air, ether. Someone else is going to fight over your property and whatever else you left. You ever seen that? When somebody passes on, the relatives are fighting. I think we ought to throw this away. No, Grandpa always liked that. All right, put it in the attic. Let somebody else deal with it. So all of these valuable valuable things that you leave behind. You think they're valuable to you, but to most people, they're going to be mostly garbage. A lot of it's going to go in the landfill, except what somebody can sell. And there may be a couple of sentimental items that they'll try to keep. So we're not part of this. We're trying to be, but we're not part of this. We are servants. We are lovers. We serve the Supreme and all the other living entities, not just God, not just the living entities. We serve, period. That's what we do. We give pleasure. We're able and empowered to give pleasure to the source of pleasure. You are so in your original form, and we all have an eternal form. It's waiting for us when we go home. We have a body there, a real body that we've had for eternity and will keep for eternity. And gee whiz, what's it going to look like when you go find it, when you go back? In other words, when Krishna looks at you, what does he see? You ever think about that? What does he see when he looks at you? Something incredibly beautiful. Because he's the source of beauty. He wants to see beautiful things. And that would include you. Do you think he made any mistakes when he's making us? Of course, he says there never was a time when we did not exist. So we've always been beautiful. When Krishna looks at you, he sees nothing but incredible beauty. He likes to look at beautiful things. That would include us. You see? So this is what we do. This is our nature. You're a beautiful creature that gives love, pleasure, through your loving devotional service. And you're better at that than anything else that you could aspire to do. By far. That is what you are good at. So, in the business world, when you hire people, you always try to line them up and get them to doing what they're good at. Now, you're expert at that. You've been doing that for what, 30-something years now. You get somebody that comes along and you have to assign them. What are you good at? Oh, you'd be better at this, you'd be better at that. You know? So now we should know. We should develop confidence. That's what you're good at. You're good at pleasing. You're good at loving. You're good at serving. And that's the best thing that you can do. That's what you're engineered to do. So I've got time for maybe one really quick question. Okay, time's up. I said quick. Any questions? Okay. Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.